Are you ready? You ready for the intro?
I'm ready for the intro.
You ready for this shit? What? Welcome.
The Fitness Grant Pacer.
Welcome.
What are you say? We bring the heat.
Jesus.
Bring the heat. Oh, I'm seeing stars right now. I'd like to mention. It's
We're
funny
back
because
with-
like a lot of my exposition is quite quiet. Actually,
We're back with another episode this week.
the things I do for this show.
We talked about possibly the worst movie ever,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Vampire
Slayer.
Hunter. It's
Hunter.
barely worth the cost of watching it, which is
Hardly.
free. For News Minute, we talked about Kanye West running for president, kinda, sorta, maybe.
Who knows?
And Pfizer is going to sell the COVID vaccine at a 10,000% markup in 2023.
Which is
Jesus Christ, dude. Why
Yeah.
why are we living in this hellscape?
Why are we doing this?
Why? What is the point?
Are we here only to suffer?
Yeah.
Indeed. My larynx are shot.
Jesus, dude. You're going to blow out something.
What's it called when your butthole goes inside out?
You're going to prolapse.
I'm going to scream so loud in this intro that I'm going to prolapse my anus.
And we don't even know if it's COVID related.
I don't even know if it's COVID related. I need Howie Mandel to help me out.
Is this COVID
Is this
related?
COVID related?
I was talking about that with Jake
just
last week.
think
That's just so
It would be
funny.
morbidly awful if you just showed an image of a dead body with a crushed head, like underneath the tank.
I don't know if you've seen Midsommar, but
No.
they show someone's caved in head in one scene. Now I'm just picturing Howie Mandel hey,
Is this COVID related?
Is this COVID related?
It shows he shows videos from the front lines of the Ukrainian war. And just a dude getting headshotted. Is this COVID related?
Yes.
Have you seen the videos of the Russian generals trying to drive into Ukraine?
No, I
And they
haven't.
get
Is it COVID related?
No, it's not. They get smeared by Ukrainian heat-seeking missiles.
That's great.
And they're going 80 miles per hour
Jesus.
all over the Ukrainian
God.
countryside, and they just get destroyed.
Anyway.
War isn't fun or funny, but that was kind of funny.
Anyway,
Don't go into other countries and try to invade and expect to be happy and healthy.
let's jump into it. I actually never did look into the Kanye running for president thing. I should check on that.
Should you though? I mean, let's look at the follow through first. I feel like that it's if there's no one that's actually gonna be whoa, Kanye's running,
Okay, look, I'm just gonna click on the first article that I see.
I'm gonna murder you in your sleep.
So, from
Except
the
I'm
BBC, Kanye West announces 2024 presidential bid. Rapper Kanye West has said he intends to run for U.S. president in 2024. I don't want to make a BBC account.
Where they're hey, he's
A
planning
thing
on
popped
running.
up across the article. It was hey, you want to join our fucking newsletter?
No, I don't. Fuck off. I love that so
Yeah.
much.
No, that's...
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Well, I mean, I haven't told you in person though. I'm pregnant.
Yeah?
Yeah. Are you recording?
Yes.
Shit. I'm not actually pregnant.
Yeah,
Anyway.
No, I know.
I I wanted to say in person, happy Thanksgiving and happy New Year.
Well, happy all that to you too.
Thank you.
So anyway, rapper Kanye West has said he intends
to run for president.
That's the key word for me, intends, because last time he was yeah, I'm gonna run for president, then he just didn't file
And
the
he released
paperwork.
a couple albums on why he didn't run for president.
Yeah, I remember
I don't
he
know.
was yeah, I'm gonna run for president, I'm gonna change the world, and then I think some time passed and the people on the news were
Are you doing that?
He didn't put,
I don't see any
he didn't
packs.
register. He didn't put anything in. He's not actually.
And then some people wrote his name in as
Yeah.
a joke, and they got at least a percentage.
Yeah. What was the thing that people wrote in? I think it might have been the primary. I don't know. It was part of the presidential election. It was one of the elections in the presidential election. There was one. D's nuts, I think, was the one that people wrote in.
But
and got
he
like a
was not
sizable.
he wasn't old enough.
He was like a 15-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
D's nuts. Ha! Got him.
Just like practically though, like what would you do? What would you do about that?
What does he run for? These nuts, apparently.
D's nuts, I guess.
I suppose. I mean, so you're pro-life? Pro-choice?
Yeah, I'm just checking my. Why does it? Oh, that's for number.
Gonna suck a dick. Gonna suck.
Number 2, channel 2. The levels could be a bit louder. I'm just making sure that the gain is properly set.
It's so weird. It's like I'm talking to you through a plane's intercom system.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what this is.
Right. Okay. All right. Everything's good. I'm just making sure because it looked a little quiet on the recording. But anyway, the star, who has legally changed his name to Ye, posted a video of his campaign logo to social media alongside the caption Ye 24. What if that's just what he thinks that it takes? What if that's what he thinks the requirements are?
Yeah.
Making a logo and like a slogan, which is just your name plus the year.
Like, come on, dude. Throw us a better Howard Dean run again. Howard Dean run again, please.
Throw us a freaking bone here.
Give us just someone that's not half joking.
Someone that's not a Nazi.
Yeah.
Preferably.
I wrote a whole thing for my student government because I'm trying to rally them together to sign like a letter of support for like Jewish people on campus to be like, hey, regardless of what happens, we have your back. Like, we're not going to stand by as anti-Semitism takes over places, right? Where was I going to go? Oh yeah, so I wrote the whole thing, but I constantly referred to Kanye West as Kanye West, or the artist formerly known as Kanye West, because my whole reasoning was like, I refuse to respect the demands of someone who refuses to respect the same demands for others.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Like, I feel like that's like, I will say his legal name is Ye. I'm not going to call him Ye.
I think he pronounces it Ye.
Ye?
Yeah.
I mean,
like Kanye.
His legal name as it stands right now is Ye, but he refuses to show any amount of compassion to people of the Jewish faith.
No, I mean, that's a good justification.
So fuck him. Also, he's used to be a billionaire. So come at me, Kanye. Put me on the map, Kanye.
Maybe we should call him Ye, though. I mean, he's publicly known as Kanye West, and he's been publicly known as Kanye West, but
yeah, but like,
I think maybe we should, just because like you shouldn't have to earn like your identity being respected.
I have a whole reason. Just let me hold on. I'm going into my student.
Well, because like there, I want to say Chris Chan, but that's not something Chan.
I think he's in jail now.
Is that the guy's name?
Chris Chan? Yeah, he's in jail.
The guy that like fucked his mom or whatever.
What?
I think we're thinking of different people. Okay, so the Wikipedia page for this person, Chris Chan, has a trigger warning for content that is disturbing, such as rape, incest, racism, homophobia, ableism, and mocking of terrorism. So I think, yeah, that's the person I was thinking of. But yeah, he like fucked his mom or something. I don't know.
Like literally?
He was like a YouTuber. Well, I should say they, I think, because I'm remembering like months old stories. But yeah, this person like came out as transgender, and people were like, well, I don't respect that because they did horrible things. And like, I get that. Like, I understand where that comes from. But like, I kind of agree with the other side more, where they say like, you shouldn't have to earn your identity being respected.
Right.
Like, it shouldn't be based on like your merits. Like, your identity is just your identity.
Well, I feel like there's a certain sense of compassion that's just missing in that. Which is that, like, at least with Kanye, right? Like, based on the fact, and I respect the fact that he's changed his name to Ye, my bad.
Yeah, I think it's
Based on
I think it's because
that was a slave name.
Yeah, he
right?
sees his name Kanye as like a slave name.
Does he know that Jews in Germany were put into slave labor to make missiles?
Yeah, good point.
Like, I know it's not on par with the over a
you
century and a half of slavery in the United States, but the lack of compassion in his message and the open, outright hypocrisy in it.
Right.
I refuse. Sorry. Artist formerly known as Ye, or artist formerly known as Kanye West, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's his business, but also he is a public person, and he's like making himself more public
to make any, like,
so
Obama would be like, listen, there's a difference between Barry the guy and Obama the former president. Right? And Kanye, not to draw a distinction between Obama and Kanye on basis of race or anything, but Kanye doesn't draw a distinction between himself and his beliefs. So I'm sorry, who else am I supposed to flip this bill to?
Yeah.
Right? That's just my point of view. Like I get people who are like, no, I changed my name because my last name was a former slave name. Fair enough. What's your name now? I'll call you by that. But if you're going to also go out and say, also, I hate the Jews because they run the media, and Jews, I'm going to put Jews on, what was it?
DEFCON. It was like DEFCON 3 or DEFCON 4 or something.
Right. You realize that's like with relevance to genocide, right?
Well, to be fair, he did say DEFCON.
Yeah.
Not DEFCON.
He didn't.
So we don't even know what he was actually saying. I don't know
what he really meant there. But
did you see that what Candace Owens said?
I saw that.
Actually, he said DEFCON, which could mean DEFCON, which is a defensive position. It's like, you know what the fuck he's saying.
He literally, okay, I don't, but my point stands. Yeah. I'm not going to respect the will of someone who refuses to respect the same will in other people.
Yeah, that's fair. That is really fair.
It's like, suck a dick. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand still calling him Kanye, like, not just for that reason, but also because, like, that's what he's known as, and it's almost kind of like a stage name.
Right.
Like, that's just how people know
that's
him.
True. And and I would like to say, too, if any other person came up to me and was like, hey, actually, this is my slave name, my real name that I changed for my own good is this, I would happily call them what they choose to be called.
Yeah.
But it comes down to like listen, you're a person on a platform who refuses the same grace and the same compassion. You refuse to show the same grace and compassion to people who are asking for the same exact thing.
Yeah. So anyway, Kanye West is running for president.
Anyway, so he's
2024.
He's running
allegedly,
for
supposedly.
Yeah.
He says in this article, he also claimed to have asked Donald Trump to be his running mate. West previously ran for president in 2020, but that campaign flopped, attracting a meager 70,000 votes.
I mean, he got a Congress seat there as far as some districts in Georgia are concerned.
Yeah, that's enough votes for something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really generous, though, saying he ran for president in 2020. Like, he ran for president in the same way that any one of us is running for president.
Right.
Because we can be written in.
Yeah. Wait, so, okay. I want all Americans to write in the name John Doe. And, like, there's got to be
I endorse Eric.
What?
I endorse Eric.
Eric? Who?
I endorse Eric.
Eric Trump?
Eric.
I would hate for that to be like, they mean Eric Trump.
Eric. No, remember that from like a few months ago when Trump was like, it was for some like Senate race or something. It was the Republican primary. And he was like, yeah, I endorse Eric. And it turned out there were 3 Erics running.
I love that. I love that too.
That's great.
The depths of my soul.
Yeah, let's all write in Eric. But anyway, apparently West was spotted at Mar-a-Lago with Nick Fuentes. If you don't know who that is, he's like a straight up like young Nazi.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't mean that like, oh, you just call anyone that disagrees with you a Nazi. Like, no, he's He's a white nationalist.
He doesn't like black people.
Yeah, except for Kanye West, just because he doesn't like Jews.
It sounds like a very what's the word? Transactional
relationship. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is like, look, I hate black people, but I hate Jews even more.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend or whatever.
What the fuck, dude? Hey, everyone listening, even people who aren't listening, just go vote. Just vote. That's the important part, is just to vote, because when you don't vote, the crazy fucking people vote. And when crazy fucking people become a majority of people who vote, they get to decide who gets in power.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
If he runs, like, let's say he runs in the Republican primary, like he like becomes the Republican nominee. Like I was saying this earlier, I can perfectly picture the Democrats picking just the worst person to run against him. Just the most boring, centrist, corporate Democrat.
Do you think they'll choose Biden again?
I don't know. It seems like, unless something drastically changes, he's probably just going to run again. But like, there was a poll a while ago that was like, yeah, like 70% of the country is like, don't run again.
Yeah.
Like people don't want him to run again, but he has done popular stuff since then.
Like, well, here's the thing. I get that Biden lacks like charisma and energy, because
except for like 1% of the time, 1% of the time, swinging dick.
Right.
When he was like, what was he? It was something that people wanted him to do, and then he was like, I'm not gonna do it.
Anyway, a lot of the stuff that
I'm gonna find the video because it's just beside the point. It's a good video.
But like a lot of the things people get mad at Biden about are objectively not under his control. Like inflation, like gas prices.
Or the war in Ukraine.
Or like people get mad, they're like, people get mad either that Biden wants to make Ukraine a part of NATO, or that Biden doesn't want to make Ukraine a part of NATO. You know, NATO is made up of multiple countries besides the United States who all have an equal vote on matters.
Right.
And there has to be a whole vote on that shit.
Yeah. Hold on. I found the video. This is completely beside the point. If I remember, I will link this video in the description, but it's...
Remember that one time... that one reporter was like, do you see inflation being a positive for your fucking campaign? And he was just like, he's
fucking moron.
Fucking idiot. He's like, yeah, more inflation. That's great.
Yeah.
Dumb son of a bitch.
Sprinkling some Raisinets on his opponents' faces and kind of destroying them.
I can totally see Biden eating Raisinets too.
Folks.
That's because Kyle, the guy talking, I think like a few seconds before, he called him Joseph Raisinette Biden.
I love that. No, I could.
Democrats are going to protect Social Security and Medicare. Republicans have been very clear. They've stated boldly that they want to cut Social Security and Medicare. And to the point
they want to fuck your mom.
By the way, unrelated to the video, which is unrelated to the topic at hand. If you see Kyle Kulinski there, he's just vaping during this.
Cut Social Security and Medicare.
Not great. Don't vape.
And to the point that they'll shut down the government, they say, and send the nation into default, which raises prices for everyone if we do not cut Social Security and Medicare. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it. It was a cadence in his voice. He had perfect.
He had like a single lucid moment. Look at him.
I ain't gonna do it.
No, I love it because he had the perfect like cadence of like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna do it.
Anyway,
beautiful.
Just in case I forget to link it. This is Biden lets his nuts swang from secular talk. That's swang. SWANG. They're swanging.
They swang in both the current and past tense.
Yeah. So anyway, Kanye West.
Yeah. Fucking just don't. Just don't.
Just don't do it.
Just don't, man. Listen. Okay, Kanye, here's what I say for you. Get back on your meds. Take your meds. Yeah, I think no. You, I please. I'm assuming you're not on your meds, given current news, and I know life is tough. Life has been tough for you. I can't deny that. Just take your meds, lay low for a little bit, relax, take a bath, drink some wine, and not with your meds though, obviously,
Right.
but
Separately,
and relax, and go see your therapist. And talk and cry and laugh and all that fun jazz. Get better, and then think about being president.
Yeah. This.
Like, am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you don't want to be like this.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Right. And also stop hating on the Jews, man.
Yeah,
God damn it!
Gotta stop talking about the Jews.
I think Kim Kardashian is Jewish. Hold on.
Is she? I do not know. But anyway, yeah, just like, I understand that the beauty of this country is, in theory, just anyone can run for president. And I'm not saying that we should restrict people's like ability to run for president, but just like on like an honor system level, like just think, should I run for president?
Yeah, no, it should be like am I needed now?
Because like, there's like, you can really boil it down to two different kinds of people that run for president. People that are like, no, I have ideas for what we should do. We should do like single payer health care. More on that later.
Yeah.
We should do, bail reform. We should do this, whatever. Like people with like policy ideas and like, ideas on how to fucking run a country.
Right.
And then there's people that just want power and think that it would be cool to be president.
Yeah, there are some people who are just like, I just want to be president. And then just like, okay, name the 3 branches of government. And they're like, yeah, Adidas, Apple, and Netflix. And it's like,
yeah.
No.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
That is a religion. And you're like, no, it's the legislature, the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. And they're like, legislature, I like lettuce, I'll support lettuce growers.
Legislature,
Done.
I hardly know her.
Executive, I'm the executive. I will be the executive, I am it.
Yeah, and then there's like the people in between that like know how the government works but just are evil anyway.
Right.
Like the Hillary Clintons of the world, where it's like, it's my turn. It's my turn.
No, I think of more of the Donald Trumps of the world who are like...
No, Donald Trump is fully on the power end of the spectrum, where he's like, he just wants power and he thinks that it would be cool to be president. He doesn't know.
It's not even that he thinks it'd be cool to be president. It's cool. It's for him cool to think, what if I had all the power?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I got to say everything. That's not like...
That's what I'm saying.
The seat of the president isn't based on like, I have all the power. The power lies in the Senate and Congress, right? You just get a final say onto whether or not Senate and Congress is wrong.
Right.
Or
But
right.
all he knows is just like the president is the guy in the chair. He's they got the Oval Office and he makes the decisions.
He gets to have a pet,
So the best
dog.
way to get something done,
Or a dog,
if
cat.
if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
But just like, if you just don't, Kanye West, yay,
I've been
do it.
shooting very direct questions at Google, not in any derogatory way, but in just a curiosity way of like, is Kim Kardashian Jewish? Out of curiosity. And it's only brought up stuff about how she's spoken out against
So
what
a little
Kanye has
fella
said,
by
which
the
is
name of-
good.
Sorry, I
Not
was
denying.
trying to-
No, you're
starting the
good.
video.
Which is good. I think it's good that she has been outspoken about Kanye's anti-Semitic tirades. But it's not really answering my question. Like, I'm just curious because I'm like, okay, because if she's Jewish and then divorced him, I get why he hates Jews now.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it's like how Elon Musk went like really transphobic
After his
his kid came
child,
out as
yeah.
trans, and his wife his Grimes left him for Chelsea Manning.
By legal definition, wife.
Were they married? Oh,
They got married legally, fully legally, had 2 kids.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure.
He has like 10 kids.
Yeah,
He's a lot of kids.
yeah. I was looking up the other day because I had thought of it, and we were talking to our roommate about it. His kid that he named like a string of numbers or whatever, like XAE, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck do you pronounce that?
It's like Ash.
Well, like part of it is Ash. Like the AE, that's Ash. But then there's also the X and like the 12 or whatever. I guess Grimes was asked about it, or they were asked separately, but they were like, yeah, there's the X and that's pronounced like an X, and the AE, that's Ash. And it's, but like I don't know if there's video of them saying the name.
Well, so I think Elon was on like Joe Rogan Experience and was like, he was just like, yeah, it's pronounced Ash, but the numbers are for like a rocket and a plane that he really likes.
Fucking dumb.
It's true. That's so dumb. No, even me being a rocket and plane fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Would be, if I had a kid, I wouldn't be like, F-16!
Well, I like Spider-Man, but I wouldn't name my kid Web Shooter.
Right. What the fuck, man? You're just asking for your kid to get bullied.
But yeah, okay, so this is not going to be an exact thing, but just bear with me. If you think, hey, I should run for president, but you have no policy ideas and you just want power, you should say this to yourself.
Into default, which raises price for everyone if we do not cut Social Security and Medicare.
Hold on. You should say this.
I ain't gonna do it.
Well, okay.
Okay, that's going on the soundboard.
I don't respect Kid Rock a lot. I only
what a great way to start that sentence.
Right. I don't respect him a whole lot, but I respect one thing that he said when there was like talk about him running for Senate. And everyone was like, no, not Kid Rock. And then the one fucking interview happened with him and they're like, are you going to run for Senate? He goes, I ain't doing that shit.
Hold on. I gotta find that now.
Hold on. I think
Kid Rock. If you find it before me, send it to me. Let's see. I looked up Kid Rock Senate. Do you think that'll...
Hang on. Senate run.
Oh, no, that's a Jimmy Kimmel video. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Let's see. From Billboard, Kid Rock releases statement on Senate bid. Says Democrats are shatting in their pantaloons. Apparently a quote from him.
That's great. I do vividly remember in 2018 seeing a quote from him like, I ain't doing that shit. You fucking kidding?
I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it. Hang on. Kid Rock not running for Senate. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Fuck no. I'm not running for Senate. This is from usmagazine.com.
Can you send that to me?
No.
Is there a video?
No, but Kid Rock confirms he's not running for Senate. This is from a long time ago, but I'll send it to the Discord. I respect that though. Fuck no, I'm not running for Senate.
Is there a video of it, or is it just a written
like a text written thing?
Okay. Well, I was just gonna see if I could play it.
I can do an imitation of him saying that.
Yeah, okay.
Here, you
go
be the
for
interviewer and you ask me.
Hey, Kid Rock, are you
what's
fucking
up?
running for shit?
I'm sorry, what shit?
Running for the Senate?
Senate of what? Senate of what? What country?
United States Congress.
Fuck no, I'm not doing that shit.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yeah, of course. I am always happy to talk about.
You could almost say, you could really summarize it with this.
I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it. I accidentally went into the podcast on my computer, even though we're not doing it over
You
Discord
moron.
Is it under shit talk? Where I put it? Or shit?
No, that's the voice channel.
Shit talk. How do I get off?
You
of
don't
it?
have to send it. It's okay. I just wanted the video if there was a video.
No, there's no video. I don't think.
So anyway, say to yourself, I ain't gonna do it.
Or say, fucking, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, not what I just said
so
there.
much,
No. Sorry, an ad popped up and I was like, I don't care. Hold on. Or just say, hold on. No chance. Kid Rock's running English. Oh, it was over Howard Stern. So yeah, there must be.
All right, let me know if you find the video.
Kid Rock tells Howard Stern, fuck no, I'm not running for Senate. TMZ, come on, give me the fucking... Did I find it? If I found it? Okay, it's going to play an ad. That's fine. I don't care. I'm happy that it's muted. Thank you. I appreciate it. Come on. Almost halfway through the ad.
This is such thrilling
We are
content,
halfway
by the
through
way.
the ad. Hold on.
So is it a video of him saying, fuck no, I'm not running?
I'm getting there. Yes! It's audio. It's audio. It's audio.
All right. Send it to me.
Wait, hold on. I want to listen to it first. I want to make sure it's what I think it is. Oh, God damn it.
Hold on. Send that to me.
I don't know
because
if
the
he
mics
actually
aren't
says
going to
though.
pick it up.
Copy. I'm just going to email it to you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Fucking geezer.
I am going to email it to you.
Yeah, why don't you fax it to me, Grandpa?
I'm going to just call it Kid Rock Touches Kids.
Jesus.
No, I'm not going to call it that.
Anyway.
Paste.
If you want to get it to me, just
So the best way to get something
Sent
done,
it.
if you
Hold on.
if it holds near and dear to you,
Oh, do you
that
just want to play it on the show?
yeah, I
like
want
be
I want it to
able
play it through the mixer so it would show up in the recording.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because we're not we'll hear it through your laptop, but they won't.
Yeah.
Those
Well, I just
freaks.
wanted to make sure he says it.
Okay, I got it up. Loading ad.
It's like a minute long.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk in the background while that plays.
I don't respect Kid Rock on most things. I respect his candidness, his candor and all this. Of
He
being
is-
like, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, thank God, too, because he's, like, awful politically.
Oh, and he also...
Governor Pataki endorsed you. Do you know that? The former governor of New York? Did you know that?
No.
He said Kid Rock is
Fucking
the
sweet, though.
Kid
I love
Rock
the
is the
picture that
exact
they use,
candidate
too.
we need running for Senate.
This is
a
my
former
disclaimer.
governor.
He looks
because
like
I don't wanna
most of
make these
Haley's
people feel
uncles.
bad.
Okay.
Fuck no, I'm not running for Senate.
Yeah!
I couldn't figure that out.
thing.
I'm releasing the album
Right.
on November, 3rd or something like that. I'm going on tour too, which is no one's going to print. Like, no, he's not running for
Fuck no.
I'm not running for Senate.
Yo, can we roll that back?
on November, 3rd or something like that. I'm going on tour too. Want to make these people feel bad.
Okay.
Okay, is this...
Fuck no, I'm not running for Senate.
I'm sorry. I love that.
That was worth it.
That was
worth...
great. That was beautiful.
That was worth the wait.
Of course it was.
Anyway.
Honestly, I want to have I'm not a Kid Rock supporter, but I want to have like a constant audio of Kid Rock saying, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit. Yeah? Can you do it? I'll be back.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm gonna, while you're doing that, I'm gonna see if it's applicable enough. Like if it's if he's saying
Yeah.
fuck no, I'm not doing that, or if he's saying fuck no, I'm not running for
He
Senate or
said,
whatever.
fuck no, I'm not running for Senate. I know he
If
said
he's saying fuck no, I'm not doing that, that would be a great sound
no,
drop.
like I will cut it and be like, fuck no, I'm not doing that.
This is
a
my
former
disclaimer
governor.
because I don't want to make these people feel bad.
Okay.
Fuck no, I'm not running for Senate. Are you fucking kidding me?
God.
This is a while ago. So Kid Rock likes to like pretend like he's some poor kid who went poor to rich.
Oh
He's-
yeah, I've heard
He's
supposedly,
always been rich, guys.
dude, he's old money.
Yeah,
He,
he's
like-
like a trust fund baby.
His whole image is all fake.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
100%.
remember seeing. I don't remember if it was a video about Kid Rock, but it was at least a video about like people
Who have
that have
money.
a fake like rags to riches story.
Right.
When it's just they were born rich
For
or
sure.
they had like parents in the industry.
Elon Musk.
Dude, every like just about every successful musician. There are exceptions to the rule, but the rule is like successful musicians like generally just have parents that are already in the industry,
Yeah.
or they like are born into enough money that they can just buy their way in.
Right. Well, Rebecca Black, for instance, she's the Friday.
Yeah,
Girl.
wasn't her dad like the producer for the song?
Well, yeah, but like in name, it's not like he was a producer in the industry. It was just that her dad produced the song and he was a producer, right?
Okay.
And she bought the song from one of the best like pop song writers,
I remember that part. now.
right? And so she bought that song for like $10,000, and then made the whole thing, and then got ruthlessly bullied.
Just to be the most disliked video on YouTube.
And there's a part of me that's like, I'm sorry. I jumped on that bandwagon in like 2008. I am very sorry for bullying Rebecca Black. And I didn't even, there's no records of it. I was just like, to my friends, like, oh, she's stupid. She's stupid. And okay, little 10-year-old me, 11-year-old me, 8-year-old me. I don't know how old I was at the time, but I don't see you getting out there and trying to do shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
This is me if you ask me to stop bullying Rebecca Black.
Fuck no, I'm not.
I'm impressed that I was able to time that so well too, because that was just,
you could tell he was going to say more, but like you did it well.
No, like I didn't know that was the timestamp where it started. I was just that was a shot in the dark.
Nice, dude. Fuck no, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, that's great. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
We got 2 ways to say no now.
I love it.
2 additional ways.
And one sarcastic way to say no, which is...
I ain't gonna do it.
We have one sarcastic way of saying it too, which is... Yeah!
Call a crackhead.
Oops, that's not the...
That's from John, no relation, Kennedy.
Yeah.
Ah!
Your parents ever get mad at you?
This only happens like once every blue moon, so no.
Well, they're probably just glad that you're home.
They actually, in fact, are, and I'm very blessed to have parents who only require my existence in the house to be happy.
That is nice.
Yes. Some parents require money first.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
A little fucked.
A little bit. So anyway.
Now
that we are, 35 minutes in?
Yes.
We are, 39, nearly 40 minutes in.
39.
So. Let's get to the news story that we were actually going to cover.
Pfizer plans to sell its COVID vaccine. Anyway.
We were talking about this earlier while we were watching this week's movie. So this is from Quartz via Yahoo Finance.
Yeah.
Pfizer plans to sell its COVID vaccine at a 10,000% markup in 2023. So basically what this article says, and I'll link it in the description. It's a pretty short read. So the government invested $1.95 billion, excuse me.
No, it was only $1 million.
A small loan of $1 million. Small loan of $1.95 billion.
It was still a small loan of $1 billion. Imagine if inflation gets so bad that any business person in the future will be like, I started with a small loan of $1 billion.
Yeah. Elon Musk be like,
oh, right. Yeah. My dad
started with a small apartheid emerald mine.
Emerald mine run by my father.
Yeah. I just like to work in the fact that they benefited from apartheid.
Apartheid and probably child labor.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I've heard, don't quote me on it, but I've heard that like the lithium mines that they use for like Tesla batteries like run on child labor.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a great look.
And he has segregated factories. Yeah. Anyway.
Fuck.
So, we the people invested $1.95 billion into vaccine research and development.
Indeed.
So, there was a deal stricken with Pfizer that the government would buy the doses at about like $25 a dose, and they would buy it in bulk.
Right.
And then after that, after the first 100 million, they spent $30 a dose because I guess the agreement ran out. But like they only bought a certain amount, and the government supply is expected to run out like beginning of 2023.
Yeah.
So like Pfizer's going to move the vaccine onto the private market.
Right.
And so instead of being $20 to $30 per dose, they are expecting to sell it for $110 to $130 per dose. Because they hate you. That's the only explanation, really.
Let me also kind of, and I hate to use this word in this context, but let me marginalize the they hate you.
Can we please
statement.
marginalize Pfizer?
Yeah. So I mean, to explain some of this, like they spent billions, granted, billions plural, on research and development. So it wasn't just the United States, like, giving money was also their own money that they used a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I would have to look into it. But from what I know about, especially vaccine research, it's billions, plural, of just research and development. Now, they did get rid of some of the stringent testing. So you used to have to do clinical trials in stages, where you would have one vaccine you think that would work, another vaccine that you would think would work, and another vaccine that you would think, 3 independent vaccines. And you would have to test them each on their own independently on their own time, right?
Yeah.
So you have to do one at a fucking time, which takes a long time. Now, what the government got rid of is that process. And instead, we're like, you can test them all out at the same time to just see which one works, right? Because that's what we need to know.
Which still seems like a fair, like,
right?
Like, it's not like you're ingesting some unknown substance. Like,
exactly. No, it's no. They're not just like, here's some stuff I found on the side of the street.
I would, as someone who knows nothing about it, I would say that that's still a reasonable amount of testing.
Well, that's what made people think it was rushed, but no, they just did the same system slightly differently.
Right. Yeah. I think people have a warped frame of reference for it because they think it's rushed because it's not the very, very careful standards. Like the standard normally is like way like over the top for most things, but since it's vaccine development,
it's over the top.
It's worth. I mean, not over the top, but like it's extremely like like I don't know the word, but like. You know, it's just thorough.
Very methodical,
very thorough, and it's just a little bit less.
It's the same. It's just that system wasn't like time efficient, and
and
that's the only.
And when you need a vaccine yesterday, like you can instead of being extremely careful and thorough, just be very careful and thorough.
And let me point this out too. Like people are pointing out that like, the U.S. isn't like we're not doing good compared to other countries. Have you seen the death rates in Russia and China? No, because they don't let you see that. And the death rates are probably significantly higher than the Russian state is willing to admit and the Chinese state is willing to admit.
And to the extent that we do have like a bad death rate with COVID, it's because of people like not
being
following
fucking assholes.
Yeah, not following the rules, not just staying inside. This, again, not to reiterate last week, but this could have been 2 weeks if people just like played nice.
Right. Yeah.
But now the people, it bothered me so much in real time as it was happening. The people that weren't following the regulations were then complaining that COVID was still going.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so we're going to stop COVID. All you have to do is just stay inside for 2 weeks. And then people were like, no, fuck you. I don't want to stay inside.
Well, and
then they're like, okay, well, we're still going to have to do lockdowns then because you guys
what the hell? You said 2 weeks would work. And it's like, yeah, because you didn't fucking do what we said.
And then it was like, okay, wear a mask. You can go out, but wear a mask. And they were like, fuck no, I don't want to wear a mask. They were like, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit, to quote Kid Rock. And then they were like, okay, you can go outside without a mask, but please get vaccinated. And then they were like, no, fuck you. I don't want to get vaccinated.
Even then they were like, fine, you can go outside without a mask. If you get sick, just don't go to the fucking hospital then.
They're like, no, fuck you. I won't go to the hospital. I want to cough on everyone.
Just like that.
Anything short of letting them lick each other is not enough for them.
It seems like it.
They should be allowed to cough on your baby.
Yeah, I don't even know at this point anymore. I'm just like the people who are pro-life being like, no, I'm not going to save other people's lives potentially by getting the vaccine. Fuck you.
Right.
I can deal with a person who's like, listen, I understand what I've said before, but I actually have a religious exemption against this, or I am actually immunocompromised and I can't take the vaccine. It might kill me. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't take hypocrites.
I don't like the people that will like let their like supposed principles get in the way of just tangibly helping people.
Well, even if
what I mean by that is they're like, well, I don't want the government to tell me what to put in my body. And like, yeah, I get it. In theory, if the government was like, hey, put this mystery meat in your body, like I'd be like,
right,
maybe no. But like aside from that, you have a choice. They're not making you do anything.
Well, also there's just
you're not free from consequences.
Yeah. And like what was feeding into this though is strange. this idea that this non-tyrannical vibe that our government at least intended to give off during the pandemic was only seen as tyrannical.
Yeah. Well, yeah, what I was saying though is like, yeah, I get it. In theory, if the government was like, "Hey, put this mystery meat in your body," I'd be like, maybe no. I don't want to do that. But I'm not going to let that hypothetical stop me from like just getting a very extrememely safe vaccine.
Right. Well, and even then, even when the government was like, "Hey, please get this vaccine," someone would be like, "No, I don't trust it." They'd be like, "Well, okay, fair enough.
Or you can get tested.
Hey, listen. Here are a bunch of sources from doctors, independent doctors. We're not paying them to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Independent doctors from different universities and different colleges, and some not even from this country, who are advocating for the efficacy of this vaccine from independent sources."
Yeah, well, you'd have to believe, like, in the full QAnon narrative, that there's like a tracking device or like a mind control chip or something.
As big as like a fucking pill.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to put it in a vaccine.
No.
But that's beside the point. Like, you'd have to fully believe that narrative. You'd have to fully buy into like the whole like it's gonna mind control you or whatever narrative. Because what's the goal here? What is the incentive for the government to invest nearly $2 billion into a vaccine and then buy the doses of it? They already spent the money on it, and then they're spending more money buying it from these private companies.
Right.
What's their reasoning for dumping all of that money into something that you think is just it's nothing, man. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help me.
But anyway, now they're marking up the price.
Yeah, so back to the original thing. So yeah, so I think we got to this part. They're marking up the price once it hits the private market to $110 to $130 per dose. And then the article mentions, and this is I think both of us were pretty floored by this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what it costs to produce the vaccine. Like, I only know vaguely, like, it's obviously less than it costs to buy it, right? But it costs an estimated $1.18 per dose
plus inflation.
To produce a vial of vaccine. I mean, yeah. So like the article said, they're gonna sell it at a 10,000% markup. $1.18. They're gonna try to sell it for $120. But the free market drives prices down. So they say, apparently.
Only when there's competition.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah.
There is that's the thing though. There is no like real, I mean, I guess there could be competition theoretically, but market forces, like the way that people like describe it in theory, like that doesn't really exist for something like medicine.
Right.
Like you can't like I understand like the theory of like supply and demand and all that.
Yeah.
I can wrap my mind around it. Like I had middle school economics class.
Right.
Like I get like, hey, a loaf of bread at one place costs $1 and it costs 80 cents at another place. You're going to pick the cheaper one. Or if neither price is good, you just don't have to buy it. I mean, that may be a bad example because you still need to buy fucking food. But okay, let's say like an iPod costs $400 and this, this lower brand MP3 player is like $250. Like you can choose one or the other or neither one. And the competition, in theory drives prices down. And I get that. I get like supply and demand. The more of something there is, the more it's going to cost, or the less it's going to cost, and vice versa. Like I get that. But with medicine, you can't choose to go without it. Like your options are take it from like one of like 3 manufacturers,
right?
Or
which
die.
Is by definition, an oligopoly.
Or die.
Right. Well, and I would like to mention too, there are massive barriers to entry into the pharmaceutical market. You can't just like get your pipettes out and be like pipettes, beakers, and tap water and expect to make a vaccine.
Yeah. There's no real competition. It's only just a very few established companies.
Billions of dollars to make one vaccine.
Yeah, there's vaccine. There's no mom and pop pharmaceutical company.
Exactly, and it takes even more money to have the machinery or to make the machinery that can make that on a large scale.
Yeah,
which is the whole manufacturing process of that, which is the reason it costs an estimated $1.18 dollars to produce a vial of the vaccine because they have such a
because they're producing it at a large scale.
At a large scale,
right?
But, and I hate to be like but it costs I think it's like tens of billions of dollars to make one working vaccine.
Yeah, the upfront investment is a lot of money,
right?
And once you get it going, it is a lot cheaper per dose.
Say like the market would drive the cost down if there were like, I don't know, a half dozen other companies that made a working vaccine.
Right, but that's just not feasible.
Well, right, there's not, like, for instance, AstraZeneca, which was, I think, is an English pharmaceutical company. They're getting sued right now because they promised a lot of countries, like, hey, we'll have a vaccine, we'll make it, it's fine, give us a bunch of money. They got a bunch of money. They didn't have any vaccine to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting sued right now for, like, a lot. They're in a lot of shit because they didn't put up. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like whole countries putting up percentages of their GDP.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for the pharmaceutical companies. Like, oh, it costs so much to make this vaccine. Like, I understand it takes a lot of money, and that's why our $1.95 billion was put into R&D for this.
Right, because it should technically now belong to all of us.
It should. Right, like if we had a just world, it would, because we fucking paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the justification for making it so much per dose doesn't work out,
right? Because
they didn't pay for.
I can't wait until like the fucking first press conference after this, right? Of like, why did you increase it by a markup of 10,000%? Well, we have to meet our financial.
See this graph? See the lines and they intersect in the middle.
Right.
That's why you have to suffer.
Right. So listen, the pandemic has brought everyone down, especially the pharmaceutical market, even though we made a lot of money off this. But anyway, we need to match our projections, our fiscal projections for this economic year, this year. So that's why you need to die.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm pulling something up. Hold on. Shit.
I don't even know what it is now.
So we had to raise the price. We had to mark it up 10,000% because we hate you. But will this make you feel better?
Imagine there's no heaven.
Even when you die, there's no heaven.
Yeah, you're gonna die because you can't afford medicine. Also, imagine there's no heaven.
Yeah,
that would suck. So you should fucking buy this medicine.
You know what that means, though, right? By saying there's no heaven, technically that means there's going to be no judgment on the people who brought up the fucking price of this vaccine.
Yo, they're kind of banking on that.
They're kind of banking on that. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
But anyway, so yeah, no, I understand like market forces in theory should drive prices, whatever. But they didn't pay for the R&D. We paid
companies.
for it.
There are two companies. Moderna? Oh, technically three companies.
Well, Johnson & Johnson also like had a
It's kind of defunct now, but like no one's like, yo, let me get that Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Get that Johnson & Johnson in my holes.
They had like 20 people get like some heart condition from it.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of fucking tanked them.
I think it was blood clots.
Yeah, I think that was it.
But like it's funny because people were making a big deal of the fucking blood clots. You have a higher chance.
It was so few people.
Even if you're sick, you have a higher chance of getting the blood clot if you're in a plane at 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
Than if you get the vaccine. But people made such a fucking mountain out of this molehill.
Yeah, even I kind of made
in
fun
a pharmacy.
of it.
Like even people who I worked with were like, "Don't trust the Johnson. I don't trust the Johnson." Yeah, listen, you have a state license to sell drugs.
Yeah,
I don't think pharmacology is really your background.
Right.
Hate to say it.
Well, yeah, like even I was making fun of it. To be fair, I was not working in a pharmacy, but even I was like, yeah, the fucking Johnson & Johnson, this shit doesn't even work.
Well, like, at least I would stay in my fucking lane, you know? Yeah. You don't see the fucking pharmacologist come into the pharmacy and being like, it shouldn't cost that much.
Well, like, yeah, I didn't realize at the time how few people it was that had blood clots.
How many, like under 10,000, right?
It was, I want to say it was like double digits. It was like 20 people. Hold on. How many? So this is from Yale Medicine, the link between J&J's COVID vaccine and blood clots, what you need to know. I'm just trying to find the number.
Yeah.
The latest decision restricts access to the vaccine of the vaccine to that's not the right number that I was looking
Here's
for.
the article. 100% causes blood clots. You shouldn't take it. I'm joking. That's not I'm not reading anything. I'm just joking. Take the vaccine, please.
I think this is what it's referring to. So the risk was like 1 in 100,000.
That's great.
That was the risk of getting a
awesome.
Getting a blood clot. Yeah. More likely to be killed by a vending machine.
Yeah, or me.
Or lock your doors.
Lock your doors. I'm about as dangerous as a vending machine, everyone.
Yeah. They call me the vending machine.
I want to be like an assassin, but like have the same stats as the vending machine, which is still a lot, like by definition.
Yeah.
But I want it to be like, of all the times someone has used the vending machine and the times that people have been killed, I work all the time.
Anyway. So, so the $1.18 figure comes from an estimate from the People's Vaccine Alliance, and it says this estimate was drawn from an analysis conducted by international nonprofit Oxfam based on data from Consumer Advocacy, Public Citizen, and the Imperial College London. And it says here, Pfizer has not challenged the estimate, which would imply that the 2023 price represents a 10,000% markup over the manufacturing cost. But the company did provide an explanation for the price hike. And then there's a quote from Pfizer.
Our projections.
Basically what they're saying is insurance is going to cover it. And even if it doesn't cover it, we, in theory, technically have like a program where you can apply for financial assistance, but we're probably not going to grant it to you. This is Pfizer. I wish I had the sound pads, but I'm just gonna say it with my mouth. This is Pfizer when you ask for financial assistance. I ain't gonna do it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, if you wanna get the COVID vaccine while poor, go.
You can still do it.
Fuck
Do
yourself.
it now. Do it now. No, because
do it now. Yeah, do it now while it's free.
Right.
But then.
So I'm in a good position though because I got the superior vaccine, which is Moderna.
Is it?
I think it's the most. So, okay, there's more data surrounding the Johnson & Johnson, which by statistical analysis makes it like patient per patient more effective than Moderna.
Yeah.
Per capita, if you will.
Well, like I don't know like the statistics on it, but my understanding was that Pfizer was the one that hot people got, and then the rest of the freaks got Moderna, and then the real tubby losers got the Johnson & Johnson.
It's funny because I have a not completely opposite, just a slightly different version of that because I worked in a pharmacy and our pharmacist would always tell us the stats. Moderna had, and I say had because I'm not sure what it is right now, but Moderna had the best, rates of hospitalization after contracting COVID. So essentially, if you got COVID, if you got the Moderna vaccine and then got COVID, you went to the hospital less than people who got J&J. Or J&J or Pfizer. The reason I bring some doubt into that is because the the Pfizer vaccine is more readily used, so it has a higher, by definition, statistical definition, it has a higher rate.
Yeah, so you'd have to like adjust that per capita.
Right. You would have to adjust it dose for dose. So Moderna.
So is it just like in terms of raw numbers, like more people like were hospitalized?
Less people were hospitalized after getting the Moderna vaccine,
but there was also like less data on it.
But because more people,
there was more data
because more people got the Pfizer vaccine.
Yeah.
Objectively, less people went to the hospital after getting the J&J, or I keep on saying J&J. Statistically, less people went to the hospital after getting the Pfizer vaccine.
Careful about tapping on the microphone, by the way.
And then you can go fucking suck a dick. Yeah, so I got the Moderna vaccine. I got 3.
I did also get Moderna.
Yeah. Ha. That was crispy. That
was crispy.
I got the Moderna, and I got 3 shots of that. And I think next I'm going to go for a Pfizer because some doctors have said.
Yeah, I've gotten...
That's good to get.
Gotten 2 Moderna, 3 Pfizer, 2 Johnson & Johnson. Then I went back for a 3rd Moderna.
Are you kidding?
Yes, I am.
I mean, like, no, I'm like, if you got all those shots, like, good for you.
I'm invincible. I'm gonna live forever.
Wrote off on that. Like, you're covered. Don't wear a mask. Fuck on.
I just went back to Rite Aid with a fake mustache.
Yeah, actually,
which they conveniently sell at Rite Aid.
Right.
I don't know if they do.
That's all it would probably take, honestly. I'm like, they get paid $16 an hour, my fucking guy.
Right.
Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
And that's going off of CVS's.
Anyway,
price,
so yeah, Pfizer's
I'm
explanation.
Not sure how much Rite Aid pays their customers or
other than I hate you. Their explanation was I'll just read the quote.
Suck my wiggly troll dick.
I'll read the quote because I'll explain it perfectly. It kind of plays right into exactly what I've been saying. There are key differences between an emergency and traditional model that increase the costs of making and distributing the COVID-19 vaccine, Pfizer told Quartz via email. These costs, the company says, include distributing through multiple channels and payers instead of one might say single payer. As well as producing the doses in single vials, which can be up to 3 times more expensive and run into higher transportation costs. Pfizer also says it's the company's expectation that most private insurance. That I don't have to read that whole thing. That's just basically the part where they're like, actually, insurance will pay for some of it, and then if you don't have money, we'll maybe give you some of it free. But yeah, so Pfizer just is openly making the case for single payer healthcare. Thank you, Pfizer.
I mean, that's such a weird double-edged sword, though. It's like, thanks. Okay.
Like, they're doing something horrible, but it's almost like they're taunting us. It's almost like they're
it's almost like they like have their dick up to a bread cutter. And each time the blade gets close, they pull it back.
It's like they're like, hey, look at that. Hey, you like that? You like single payer? Well, you can't have it because I'm evil.
And I hope.
Hey, look at that! Single payer is actually cheaper, and the production is more streamlined, and it costs less per dose, and you don't have to pay an extra markup because the government doesn't try to make a profit off of you. They're jingling the keys of single payer in front of
for
your
those who can't see. I was saying you're jingling your keys for those who can't see.
They're jingling the keys of single payer healthcare right in your face and saying how great it would be.
That's great.
Yeah. But that's exactly what I've been saying, like, forever. Like, when it comes to stuff that's essential for the world continuing to spin.
Right.
Like medicine, like transportation, food, like housing, stuff like that. Like, you can't just choose to go without it. So market forces don't really apply. So it shouldn't be run by people making a profit. Like, if the government is like, at least in theory, we the people and we own it or whatever.
Let me tell you.
Why would we leave it up to people that hate us and want to make money off?
Because they have the means of production.
If only they could be seized by.
Let me tell you something that's been keeping one country, fucking spinning. Qatar. What keeps their world spinning? Let me talk about what keeps.
I forgot about that.
Let me tell you what keeps their world spinning. Modern day slavery is what keeps their economy spinning.
I thought you were going to talk about the World Cup, or is this related to the World Cup?
This is related to the World Cup. So here's what happened.
Dude, Qatar is fucking. They're being evil.
What? Qatar?
They're being straight up evil.
So here's what happened. So the FIFA said, "Hey, we're gonna hold the World Cup in Qatar. Maybe because we got a bribe from some Qatari officials, but it's gonna happen in Qatar." And Qatar was like, "Fuck yeah, hate the gays." And they hired a bunch of people from Tibet to make 3 stadiums, right? So these people from Tibet signed a contract with the Qatari government that we're going to make these stadiums and we're going to get paid this much and we're going to get these healthcare whatevers, right? We're going to get this much paid time off, this much paid leave, yada, yada, yada. Well, they get there and the Qatari government's just kind of like, hey, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to pay you like significantly less than we promised. You get no paid time off, and if you want to see a doctor, how about you suck a dick?
Yeah, now that you mention it, I think because Kyle Kalinske did a segment on Qatar, just talking about the whole thing going on over there.
Yeah,
how they were like, yeah, you can drink beer here, and then they were like, don't fucking drink beer here.
Yeah, or you can be gay here, but don't fucking have sex here.
Don't fucking be gay.
Don't
if we
be-
catch you being gay, you're arrested.
Listen, Ben Gay. I know that was past tense, but
Yeah. Well, like, Ben, who's Ben? Good for him.
good for him.
But no, I from my understanding, at least from what I've heard from the coverage of this, is that normally when a more restrictive country hosts something like the Olympics, or any like worldwide sporting event,
Yeah.
they'll wear like the Olympic villages, or whatever the case may be for whatever event they're hosting. Normally they're like, yeah, like drinking isn't allowed here, but since you're Americans that don't know better, like we'll let you do
There's
it.
a precedence to be shown that a lot of people who come for sporting events don't actually know your laws.
Right. Well, also it's just directly financially beneficial to like the sponsors of the event, like Bud
Right,
Light or
right.
whatever. Like these like alcohol companies, like they want people to consume their product at
Yeah.
this thing where the product is consumed. So they're like, okay, if you want to host this event, you better fucking
You can
let them
have
drink our
Have our
product.
beer. Have our beer, motherfucker.
You got to buy everyone a beer.
You gotta buy everyone beer.
No, drop your pants.
Take out your penis. Let me suck in your penis.
But yeah, so Qatar is like, nah,
Wait, and they're like,
we hate you.
FIFA's like, let me see your tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, like just generally though, like the Olympics, for example, ruins places that it happens at.
No.
Like like it's known, but I don't think people think about it or talk about it that much. Just like the sheer amount of money and resources that goes into making like the Olympic Village. And then
Right.
it's used for like, what is it, like a month?
Like a month.
Like a month.
Right.
And then just it's abandoned.
Have you seen the
and
train wreck
it
that-
costs so much money to build it that could have gone to like the people of that country.
Right. Have you seen the current I think it was the Beijing Olympics, the current Beijing stadium?
Yeah. Oh, also people get displaced. Like they get just kicked out of their
they're just
houses.
like, hey, fuck on out of here.
Yeah. Move out of your family home.
So fucking China made a giant fucking like Olympic stadium back in like 2012 or something when they had the Olympics. And now it's just totally abandoned and
Mhm.
rusting
Yeah.
and just corroding and falling apart. And no one wants it because it's just why? Why would you buy that?
Right.
Why would you buy that? No one cares.
It's just wasted resources.
And let me point out another thing. Like whenever they go to like a Western country for the Olympics, like for instance, it happened in America a couple times, right? Where they had the Olympics.
Yeah.
There's a reason that it looks like they're shooting inside of a civic center. It's because they're shooting inside of a civic center
Mhm.
where people will actually keep it up for the public and keep it like open and in working order, right?
Sounds like socialism.
A little bit, but they have the Olympics and they go, oh, hey, it just so happens at our civic center over here, we actually happen to have an Olympic-sized swimming pool
Right.
for everyone that we're going to shut down for the Olympics, obviously.
Sounds like it kind of sounds like socialism.
But you can also ski on this hill that we have a ski hill that has an Olympic-sized area for you to has the right.
Yeah, it turns out when you build Olympic-sized shit, people can use it for the Olympics.
Yeah. And if there's enough people who just are like, yo, I'm not going to go in the Olympics, but I'll fucking ski on this hill.
It's just nice to use the canon thing.
Right. So, that's, I don't know. I just find that funny that like
Yeah.
a fucking dictatorial country will, a dictatorship will displace a bunch of people and make a grandiose theater and stadium and ski hill and whatever.
Well, like the shittiest countries will make the biggest show out of just the most inconsequential shit.
Right.
Inconsequential shit.
Council schnitz.
The inconsequential does not grant you the rank of master.
But yeah, that's why I respect like the United States to some extent, because like if we ever get chosen again for the Olympics, it's
Yeah.
going to look like it's from a civic center
At least,
or a stadium.
yeah, at least we have shit for the public.
Because like
I think we should do more of that.
every
actually.
state has like an Olympic-sized soccer stadium in their football field.
Yeah. No, you might get the impression that I don't like this country. No, I do. I like the good shit we do. We should do more of it, actually.
Right. Actually, I think there and going back to another show that we recorded, there are some things, like there's nothing inherently about being American that makes you exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things about America that are just inherently exceptional.
Yeah.
Like our ability to like build big things, or
I mean, to be fair, other countries build big things.
that's true. But like we also have geography that makes America super good at
We happen to have
doing
just
really-
way too much land.
really cool shit. I must say.
I wonder if there was anyone living on all that land before.
I think it was just barren.
I think
It was like-
all
here's
of
the
this
thing.
fertile farmland was just unoccupied by the people
actually,
living there.
They won't tell you this in your history books, but Earth was a lot like Mars before the white man came.
And then Elon Musk terraformed the Americas.
Exactly. That's how it happened.
Yeah.
For the record, any future employer, I am joking. I know it. Manifest destiny is not a good thing.
No, it is not. It really.
It really is. We have to watch
Oh,
the-
jeez.
we watch
If there
the
is any
whole-
historical mistake we have made.
Go to fucking YouTube, look up Knowing Better,
Dude.
and watch his video on what was
It was called They Were Just in the Way. Native American
Yeah.
removal.
Right.
Or, yeah, it was something along.
Look up that video.
Yeah.
It is such a good
As of now, I think it's his most recent video.
Right. Well, and what's shocking to me is this is stuff that happened like near to where we live.
Right.
Right. And I didn't fucking hear about it.
In where we live.
Right. In where, I mean, and I say that relative to my state. So like I'm in Michigan, and we have we were taught about the tribes, and we were forced to. No, we were forced. We were told.
Well, we were forced
to learn about the tribes.
Yeah, Haley and I were talking about this on our drive up. By the way, I'm visiting up north, and that's why we're in the same room together.
Yeah. Him up north, me down south.
Yeah, we met in the middle.
We met in the middle, exactly.
Yeah. So we were talking about this. I don't know what your school did, but the school, like we were in the same, Haley and I were in the same school district. So like we had pretty much the same like curriculum or whatever, but we had this like Thanksgiving play that we did where some people dressed up as like pilgrims, some people dressed up as Native Americans.
Tell me no one dressed up as a slave, please.
Oh my God. No, that'd just be too transparently horrible.
Right.
No,
I like how you say transparently.
Right. Well, like it's horrible that like that just would be more obviously horrible.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Arguably. So like we made like construction paper like headdresses and stuff. We like beat sticks together to make music. And it felt very racist. It was all about how like the pilgrims came and the Indians were like, "Hey, you guys, you want some corn?"
Yeah, that's not how.
And I think they missed the part where they gave all of the Indians smallpox.
Right. They were like, "Wow, thanks for this corn and also meat and turkey and all this great way to."
Hey, thanks for the corn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Vape Nation.
Hey, you want the rest of this corn? I coughed on it.
I coughed on it.
Hey, you want a blanket?
Right. And you know, it's funny because like I think even in his video he mentions that like, oh, there's the argument that they didn't know they had smallpox on it. No, they knew. They were aware that there was a correlation between people who had smallpox and having the blankets of people who had smallpox.
Yeah.
People who have had smallpox in the past maybe got sick but didn't die.
Well, I mean, from everything that I have read, seen, and heard, the only nice things that like the American like colonialists did, like the only nice things that they did were like cover-ups to just give them smallpox.
Right.
Or like do some horrible shit to them.
Right. Well, and I love that, especially because Knowing Better is so great because it's like just the name and everything of how he presents his thesis.
Yeah.
Is like in a sense of like
It's very academic.
very academic, but also in a sense of like now we should know better, right? Like we
Right.
should actively work toward knowing better.
Yeah, and we've gone off about this before.
Right. But I wanted to point out in that video at least, he's like, you can't say that they didn't know better because we have documentation of soldiers who were told to open fire on tribes who refused orders. Who said this
Right.
isn't right? We shouldn't be firing upon people.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked about Knowing Better, I brought this up, but I want to say in one of his videos about Columbus, he talked about how people equate the history of humanity to the history of a person.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
oh, we were younger back then. Oh, we were in our teens or whatever. We didn't know better. We didn't know that you can't just force native people to dig for gold, and if they don't give you enough gold, you cut their hands off.
Mm-hmm.
We were just too young to know. Like, no, those were grown ass people. That was a 50-year-old man.
Oh, you know what? You want to know how we knew better too? You know the whole.
Everyone else was like, dude, you're fucked up.
No, you know the aspect of like landlords in England. You know, they would have a farm. You would work on it. You would give them.
I mean, they were just called
harvest.
lords. Yeah,
right, lord. But I mean, that's where we get landlord.
That's where
from.
we get. Yeah. Kind of fucked up that we still have that.
Still technically we have that, but
we have lords.
Even the people working on those fields fucking hated it.
Yeah.
They were like, this isn't fair.
Yeah, people knew. They knew that they were oppressed, and the oppressors knew, hey, this is a pretty sweet gig we got here, oppressing these people.
It's not like they weren't reading the Bible where Jesus says, do unto others as you would do unto yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they knew better.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with this bullshit of like, oh, they didn't know better. They knew better, man. They had the lessons were at their feet.
For sure, yeah.
And they definitely knew better, you know?
For sure.
It doesn't take a lot to be like, hey, maybe I should treat people the way I would want to be treated here. Maybe I shouldn't take them out of their house and rape their children and wife and kill them.
Oops, I didn't know that genocide was wrong.
Sorry, God, I'm really sorry. Their jewelry fell into my bag. My dick fell out of my pants, and my musket fell out of my hands again. And I managed to steal, pillage, and rape and shoot everyone.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of some news outlets' coverage of police shootings.
Yeah,
when they're like, someone was shot. An unarmed black man was shot.
I don't know.
The police say that it's. Oh no.
Police say
they never.
I don't know. You don't know. It could be anyone. It could be a guy.
It's always like a bullet was fired from a gun and it hit someone, and the gun happened to be handled by someone unknown at the time. We don't know. They never say a police officer shot someone. They always say someone was shot.
No. They go, a police officer took all action needed to subdue a suspect.
Yeah. To the extent that they do say a cop shot someone, they always say it like, he did what he had to do.
Now, if they were transparent, they would say, officer blah, 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 badge number, blah, blah, blah.
His address.
Not his address. That's a bit
phone number.
His phone number. But they would
Social security number.
Like, be like, this is the officer who did it.
Credit card number.
Like, listen, you put on a badge, you take responsibility for your actions.
3-digit code on the back.
Like, I hate to say it. No, I don't. I don't hate to say it.
I don't hate to say it.
Like,
if you sign up to carry a gun and go out into the streets
you are on
and enforce law and order,
to enforce
in theory,
law and order here.
Like, you kind of get what happened. Like,
you get your name doxxed. That's what happens. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying,
I'm paying you.
I'm not saying you deserve
taxes.
I'm not saying like you deserve to get shot if you're a cop. But if you sign up, this is the thing. It was optional. They went out of their way to sign up to go out into the streets,
I want to do with my life.
Carrying a gun,
right?
Enforcing law and order in theory. Like, you're just gonna get shot at sometimes. Like, sometimes someone will come at with you with a weapon.
That'll happen. I'm talking about
sometimes an unarmed person will just be there and you don't shoot them. If you're too scared by an unarmed person, just don't sign up to carry a gun on the streets.
A bulletproof vest on. You think these people are marksmen?
That too.
Right? Like, good God. But also,
I want that crackhead is going for a headshot.
They are always so keen on keeping the officers name and privacy, right?
Right.
It's like, here's the thing. You're paid for my dime. I have the right to know who shot who.
But it is also weird that they give so much anonymity to the cops,
right?
But not the victims. They always say they might as well just dox. They might as well just say yeah, they lived at this place and this was their address and this is their phone number and this is all their relatives' addresses. They just lay it all out bare so the cop sycophants can harass them.
And it's terrible too, because on top of becoming a victim of basically state sponsored, killing.
Yeah. State sponsored violence.
You're also becoming a spectacle now.
Yeah.
Right. For everyone to go, oh, that sucks. All right.
Or for some radical weirdos to be like, this guy fucking had it coming. We don't know. Could have had fentanyl in his system. We don't know.
Right. Like that has anything to do with
I
it.
hear he spent I hear he spent a counterfeit $20 bill.
You know, it's like if you were living with someone and you're like, hey man, you're really loud when you have sex. And they're like, listen, my bed wasn't even touching the wall. It's like, that's not my point.
Right.
That's not my point, though.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that you're loud during sex.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just like shooting unarmed black people is just like having sex too loud.
No, it's not. Don't put that in my. I did not say that.
And it's just like Star Trek.
It's just like Hamilton.
It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that it was on the right page that time.
Dean.
I thought I might have pushed
You know,
the call
Howard
a crackhead
Dean
button.
should get a Grammy for that.
He should. Yeah, if anyone should get a Grammy, it's him.
Yeah.
So anyway, we tried to watch a movie this week, I should say.
It was actually like,
after 45 minutes, after 50 minutes, we were like, we kind of get it.
We get it.
We get it.
Give me 30 seconds. I'll explain the entire movie.
Okay, all right.
Give me 30 seconds.
Hey Google, set a timer for 30 seconds.
Third timer for 30 seconds. Starting now.
Okay, so Jesus comes back, and instead of trying to like help the poor and needy, he decides to devote his life to hunting and killing vampires. He's trying to bless people. Some vampires should have fucked that up. They fuck up a lot of priests, by the way. By the way, they also managed to overestimate and underestimate Jesus' power as the Son of God, because in every single fight scene, technically Jesus could have snapped his fingers and like just vaporized everyone out of existence.
Could have turned the water in their blood into wine.
Exactly, my point.
Could have poisoned them.
So anyway, he teams up with some really hot goth girls.
Right, that's the timer.
So it ended with me saying he teamed up with some really hot goth girls to fight vampires.
I think you described the entire movie. There's also a Mexican wrestler there.
I mean, I forgot the Mexican wrestler.
Yeah.
That's only because I hate Mexicans.
Because he showed
I'm
up
joking.
like 40...
That's a joke. I don't hate...
That's awful.
I'm joking. I'm so sorry.
Well, because the Mexican wrestler only showed up like 40 minutes into the movie.
Right.
And he's in the synopsis.
Right.
So anyway, this week we watched Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. It's free on Plex and Tubi.
I don't know how...
It's worth some of your time. We didn't watch the whole thing.
No.
We stopped around 50 minutes because we were like, oh,
there's some nice boobies in it.
We were watching it together and we were like, do we want to finish this?
I mean,
like, we get it.
I just like all the like, okay.
I will say it's exactly what I expected.
Skirting the bottom line between it's bad, it's good because it's bad.
There are some like so bad it's good like action scenes. Like they're just so funny.
Like a lady tries to kick Jesus and she completely misses by like 3 feet, by a whole fucking yard. And
yeah,
he
like
still reacts like he's got kicked.
Right. Yeah, they do like the standard action movie, like fake punching and stuff, but it's so bad. And like there's a music number with like,
but like a 70s music number
on the street interviews. It looks like
right,
it looks like a Jimmy Kimmel segment
from like pre 9/11 Jimmy Kimmel.
Allegedly, this movie came out in 2001, but it doesn't look that recent, right? Well, it doesn't look that recent.
No,
but like sometimes
like
it's a musical. Most of the time it's an action movie. Sometimes there's like Bible verses. Like it feels like either really good satire or really bad propaganda.
Or like really bad satire and really like unaimed satire.
Yeah, like so you looked it up.
Really unaimed propaganda.
So I think you looked it up earlier and somewhere
parody
somewhere
film.
It said that it's a parody.
Of what? What are you parodying? Parodying.
Please specify.
I have no idea. What is it? Like, is this a mix between Twilight and Jesus Christ Superstar? Like, I'm not...
Twilight is so much better than this.
Yeah.
At least Twilight has a plot.
At least Twilight was kind of funny.
At least it has a plot. At least it has, like, some likable characters. They're the side characters, granted. Not the main characters at all,
right?
But there's some likable characters. There's some quotable moments,
right?
Bella, where the hell you been, Loca? Did you seriously name my daughter after the Loch Ness monster?
Oh my god, I love that. I love that.
It's like a drug to me.
It's like a drug to me.
Like there are no are there quotable moments from Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter?
We're the atheists.
Oh, that was
real. So
yeah, there's like a gang there's like some Agent Smith looking people that roll up in a black
they roll
SUV.
up in like a fucking Jeep, and they come up, and I thought they were gonna drive by Jesus and like hit him with a baseball bat, but they didn't. That would have been an objectively better scene.
That would have been pretty funny.
But they come out, and this really actually quite attractive lady with red hair and like a tank top, like a fishnet tank top and a bra underneath. It was quite a nice outfit, I must say. She came out and she goes, "We're the atheists."
Yeah.
As though
and then like an entire gang rolls up.
Like as though it's like they have a thing against Christians.
That's why I say it's either really bad satire or really bad propaganda or really good satire, because it feels like South Park,
right.
You know, like just a gang of like leather-clad Matrix looking ass people rolling up being like, "We're the atheists." Like it feels like a movie you'd watch like in Bible camp, or it feels like something making fun of a movie you'd watch in Bible camp.
Yeah, but like it's funny because they act as though in religious matters that aren't like dipping a toe into state matters, that atheists have a say in something. Right. No, we just don't want people to be forced to say the Lord's Prayer in public school.
To the extent that atheists are a coalition at all, it's just on Reddit. It's just on the internet.
My lack of belief isn't an aside toward yours.
Right.
Like I'm not. I just don't.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute the tab, but I gotta find the part where they're like, "We're the atheists."
It's great. It's amazing.
I cannot believe there's another 33, 34 minutes of this movie past where we stopped watching.
But I feel like it still would have said just nothing.
All of the action scenes just kind of blend together.
It just has all the organization of like.
Oh, I saw like the part after the person says we're the atheists, and Jesus like stances up ready to fight. He's like, "Let's begin the conversions."
Oh my god!
So it's the kind
conversion implies a faith to begin with.
It kind of goes hard.
It
kind of goes hard. Like I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So all right, right. I'm unmuting the tab. By the way, all the music feels like it's like on a Casio keyboard. Like it's built into the Casio keyboard.
Look at them titties.
Hello, Jesus. You don't know us because we've never talked to you before. We are the atheists.
Like,
and it's also like it looks dubbed. But anyway, yeah, that's great.
We are, but she doesn't go even though like we're the atheists. She's like, "We are the atheists."
Yeah, it's like introducing yourself as the Avengers.
You know what a real atheist would have done there? It would have been like, "Hey, I've heard that you're Jesus. I have a really bad cough. Like,
right?
I have injuries that I can't pay for.
Like it's kind of hard. It's like just definitionally, it's hard to be an atheist and be talking to Jesus.
Right. And well, like, okay, objectively, if a guy waves his hand over, by the way, for the listener, I have a fucked up elbow. I crushed it when I was 12. If there's a guy who claims to be Jesus, waves his hand over my arm, and then my arm is brand spanking new, that guy's Jesus. Sorry, not sorry.
Like if he can make me have a good time with this Dasani, like I'm gonna convert.
This Dasani? What do you mean?
Just like the Dasani, like the bottled water brand.
I don't get what.
Because Jesus turns water into wine.
Oh, I get it. I'm an idiot. That's what.
Yeah, it's okay.
To. But like, I'm sorry if that man fixes my arm.
Yeah,
like it's like no, the bones that were misplaced and are now.
Like we're just awaiting evidence.
Right.
Like that's the thing.
Like, listen, if you can go bloop, 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 and then my arm is better.
Yeah.
Okay, ask Jesus.
No, that's fair.
Listen, hey, I have a friend who has syphilis. Can you fix that? Cool.
Right.
Hey, there's like a bunch of people with AIDS. Can you fix that? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just great. We are the
atheists. But you can't use a contraction. You have to say we are.
We are the atheists.
The atheists.
That's great.
And you can't say the. You have to say the.
We are the atheists.
Yeah. Well, because they're Canadian, so like, I can see why they're like
we are the atheists, eh?
Oh, we're the atheists, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the movie, and I talked about this while we were watching it, is like the fact that I think they just had so little budget they couldn't afford a good wig. Jesus has like the long hair in the for the first like 10 seconds when he's introduced, and then like it cuts to him like walking out of a barber shop and he just has like the actor's short haircut.
Right.
like clearly they just didn't want to deal with the wig like in all the action scenes and everything, and it was probably uncomfortable. So they just wrote in Jesus getting a haircut for no reason.
It's great. It's great. And I bet they did that after filming too. Like they filmed it with the wig and they're like, it's not fucking working with the wig.
Right. Then like to even like double down on it, they then have one of the like Jesus' sidekick.
Oh, Mary Magnum.
Mary Magnum. She's like,
which
well,
I'm not sure if they mean by the gun or the condom, because damn.
Maybe both. But so she's like, well, if you're gonna be Jesus Christ vampire hunter, you got to be a little less conspicuous,
right?
So they go like clothes shopping. That is a scene in the movie. They go clothes shopping to get Jesus like some regular ass clothes, and then for the rest of the movie, he's just probably wearing what the actor wore on set.
This is what I mean: constantly overestimating and underestimating Jesus's power. He can just go like, "Cool, let me see what will fit." Bink. Cool.
Right. Well, for the rest of the movie, he doesn't have the long hair. He doesn't have like a beard or anything. He has like sideburns, Jesus with sideburns. I love that.
Yeah.
He's just wearing regular ass clothes.
It's great.
He might as well just be Brian from down the street.
Right. Stoner Brian from down the street.
He's just a guy who we pretend is Jesus.
Right. I love the character of Mary Magnum, because it's just a constant cock tease. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But also I would love to, and not a weird way. Like I would love for like a church to show their kids this movie, or like a church to show like a Catholic school to show kids this movie. Because I just know there's going to be a couple kids who'll have like their sexual awakening after watching this movie.
Yo, can you write into the show if Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter was your sexual awakening?
Right, yeah. I saw the goth girl in that fishnet tank top, and I was instantly
saw the
hooked.
girl in the red jumpsuit. Kind of did something for me.
I'm sorry.
Looking at her IMDb, I think she was only in this. Where is she? Maria Moulton, who played Mary Magnum. Can you write into the show and tell me where are you?
What was her name?
Moulton? Where are you working?
Moulton?
Maria Moulton, Moulton. You looking her up?
What's she up to?
There's like no pictures of her online or anything.
I'm gonna go 2001. Okay, so there's pictures of her from Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer, but
she's like, I think that's just the only thing she's done. I think she popped into existence at the start of filming, and she just ceased to exist when they were done.
You know what?
They probably on the last day of shooting, they were probably like, "All right, good shoot, everyone. You know, Jesus, you were great.
Okay,
Other guy, you were great,
Amazon...
and Mary Magnum, you were great too. What? Wait, where did Mary Magnum go?
Exactly.
Who did we have playing her?
She has a biography out on Amazon.
Really, and it's her.
It looks a lot like her.
Well,
Maria
Moulton, can you write into the show? Write in. Tell us how you're doing.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Also, the vampires were like lesbians or something.
It's a pregnancy book. It looks a lot like her. I will add. It looks a lot like her. I cannot confirm. It says the author is Maria Moulton.
Yeah.
Want me to send a link to you?
It's at least the same name.
At least. Here, I'll send the link to you.
Okay.
This is by far the weirdest email I'm sending to you.
Anyway, I would say, I hate to say it, this might be the first movie that we've talked about that is the worst movie ever.
That is actually the worst I've seen.
But in kind of
lately.
a fun way for like 20 minutes.
It was like all right because it was like, okay, if it keeps on going this Monty Python route, sure.
Didn't they like rip off a couple of Monty Python jokes?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is, Americans can't do good dry humor.
Yeah, no, there's some of us. I think I could do a mean dry humor, but yeah, like I've seen the comparisons, and it's British people do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be her. I don't.
I mean, why are we gonna lose sleep over this?
Yeah, we don't need to devote more time to this. Let's just say, it's her. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's it.
So worst movie ever.
It's terrible. It stunk.
Yeah. So anyway,
stunk.
What do you want to watch next week?
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Jesus Christ Superstar, the musical.
No, I'm joking. Let's watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. I guarantee you, Alex, it will be. And I remember going off like you were like Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer. That seems Vampire Hunter. That seems like a good one. And then we were both like, this shit sucks.
Look, neither of those were gonna be good movies. But I felt like this one would be so bad it's good. And I think I was kind of right.
You were right for the first 10 minutes.
It does kind of wear out its welcome. Like, this doesn't need to be as long as it is. Just because there's no plot. There's nothing.
At least
there is nothing going on here.
Okay, so it's on Apple TV for $3.99. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. I'll pay $3.99 to see it.
I will remind Gavin that when I got to his house, I showed him that I bought Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter or Vampire Slayer, whatever he does to the vampires.
Are you gonna plex it?
I bought it on Blu-ray. Yeah, I'm gonna flex it.
Yeah, plex it.
I'm gonna plex it.
Plex it.
I'm gonna plex it. I bought a fucking lot of movies for Black Friday. But I bought a lot of movies for Black Friday, and I will prioritize putting Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter or Vampire Slayer, whatever he does to the vampires.
Vampire fucker.
That one's gonna. Ooh. Hey, no one steal that idea.
Hey, yeah, that's mine. Wouldn't it be just great if it's like vampire ladies just want like a warm body to huddle up to? They're just cold.
Yeah.
So they find like the most ooh-woo looking guy, like a big chonka guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Sure. So anyway, next week,
there is hope.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Abraham Lincoln
2012.
2012.
It has people in it. I mentioned this last episode.
It has like actual actors.
It has people that are in things in it. It has Anthony Mackie. He's now Captain America in the MCU. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She was in a few things. I think she was Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim.
Gotcha.
She was the bad guy lady from Sky High, which that's one that we got to get to someday.
Yeah.
Dominic Cooper. He was young Howard Stark. He was in Mamma Mia. Rufus Sewell. I know I recognize him from stuff, but I don't remember what I know he plays a rich asshole, just generally.
You mean a rash hole?
Oh, he was in A Knight's Tale. That's where I remember him from specifically. Yeah. A Knight's Tale is a good movie. So anyway,
yeah, this looks like a good movie.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
You better plex
Watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime.
You better plex it. You better plex it.
Gavin, I will plex it.
Get ready.
Is that really how I sound? Hang on, is my movie voice as good as I think it is?
This summer, get ready.
It's actually
That's your movie voice.
This summer, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. And fuck.
Imagine if you're just tripping over the line, like,
fuck, in theaters Friday.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
In theaters Friday.
I want you to do that voice, but I'm finding a quote that I want you to do with that voice.
Vampire Slayer, in theaters Friday. He will fuck your asshole.
Can you say it's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me?
It's not who I am underneath, but...
Wait, what?
Hold on.
It's not who I am underneath,
yeah,
but what
just read what I have highlighted.
Okay.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. This summer.
Why do we fall, Master Wayne?
Some men just want to watch the world burn. In theaters Friday.
There's a lot of memorable quotes from the Dark Knight movies.
Oh, they're great.
But so few of them are from Batman.
Right. I mean, what does Batman have to say on the nature of things? I think he's just like...
A lot. It's just they misused him in those movies. They're not misused. What the
my family healthy is my
I don't want this.
So I decided to take a closer look at my water.
That website that I was on is playing an ad.
This summer I'm gonna fuck your mom.
So anyway, you want to get recommendations of the week?
Recommendations.
I just have a couple.
Have a couple.
Oh, all right. Yeah, put them in the show notes. So
show notes.
While you're doing that, I'll talk about mine. So, do you know who James Randi is?
No.
So I think he died a few years ago, but he was a magician for like a lot of his life.
Yeah.
And then he retired from that and he started the James Randi Foundation for like reason or whatever. I don't know. But basically his whole thing was he like debunked like psychics.
I love that.
And stuff like that.
That's
just scammers.
I love that.
People that are after your money and nothing else. And he actually has a TED Talk that is really good. It's like 18 minutes, I think. And it's a pretty good distillation of what he was all about.
Yeah.
Because he basically explained like, well, one thing that he focused on in the TED Talk was homeopathy.
Yeah.
And how like the idea of
it's like a very comfortable homeopathy.
Sure, yeah.
It's an apathy that's very homey.
So homeopathy is like an alternative medicine. It used to be like a popular thing. I don't know how much it is popular anymore. But like it was this like new age, whatever, like basically what they do is they like take a bit of medicine and then they dilute it in water, like so much to the point. I think what he compared it to is if you like put like in like a tablet of aspirin, like in a lake, and waited like 30 years for it to become homogeneous. And then you took a little drop of that water and took that as medicine. That's basically what we're working with homeopathy.
Right.
And one thing, like at the start of the TED Talk, before he got to homeopathy, he opened it with taking an entire bottle of homeopathic sleeping pills. Takes the entire bottle, and then he's like, I'll explain that later. But then he's like, so I took those a lethal dosage of sleeping pills earlier, but they were homeopathic. So they didn't do shit.
Nice.
And he regularly did that stunt at all of the talks that he did.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just so like powerful. It's so to the point because it's like this shit doesn't work.
I'm joking when I say this completely. I'd like to see him do that with a bottle of Ambien.
Homeopathic Ambien, sure.
Yeah, dude, holy shit. If you took you would die, but only because it would suppress your breathing.
Jesus.
And kill you. You would die from not breathing because you wouldn't be able to breathe.
Yeah. But that actually reminds me of a joke that he told in this TED Talk. He was talking about how psychics always say the most vague shit.
Right. I sense you lost someone close to you.
This person is communicating that they had a difficult breathing before they died. And then he was like, yeah, that's what happens when you die.
Yeah.
It becomes difficult to breathe.
That's what happens when you take a lot of Ambien.
He's like, that's what dying is.
Yes. Well, it's funny because fucking John Oliver made the same kind of joke. He's just like, if everyone dies of a heart attack, technically speaking.
Technically
speaking, everyone dies from their heart stopping. That's objectively what kills them.
Yeah. James Randi in his TED Talk also, like when he was talking about homeopathy, he mentioned that supposedly like in homeopathic lore, the more diluted a medicine is, the more potent it is. And I forget how he worded it, but the joke was basically like, yeah, this guy overdosed on his homeopathic medicine because he missed a pill.
That's great. Well, it's funny because like they would have a point if they instead of saying diluted said distilled. Like, yeah, if it's more distilled, of course it's going to be stronger.
But that's a different thing.
That's a different process.
That's an entirely different thing.
But I will
say... That's just not what they do.
There are some things when diluted with specific other things...
Yeah.
...that will exaggerate the effects of other things.
Yeah, but that's not what we're dealing with. We are dealing with a little bit of medicine that actually works, just diluted in fucking tap water.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't really okay, also there are some medications that have a timed release inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I forget, I think they use like calcium carbonate or something, so it dissolves at a certain pace for your body to absorb it.
Right.
Now, if you diluted that and then drank it or whatever, yeah, you could potentially get a, by definition, like higher like absorption.
Yeah.
But not a higher dose.
But let's not give these people too much credit.
Don't
There's
do
no
that.
way they thought
Don't
of that.
do that.
There's no
That's
way they
dumb.
thought of that. There was, well, so another part of it is supposedly they say water has memory and it like remembers being medicine, which isn't fucking true, but it's what they think. And this isn't like original, but like this isn't like what I came up with, but I saw somewhere someone was like, well, if water has memory, why doesn't it remember being dinosaur piss?
Right.
Like, where does that memory stop?
Exactly.
Does it remember being salt water?
Does it remember being my fucking jism?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't remember breakfast. There's no way water remembers shit.
right. I don't know what I had for breakfast. Jesus, I was too drunk at the time. JK. Yeah, no, water doesn't have memory unless you freeze it, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I'm just giving an objective fact there.
I went to, this is completely unrelated, but I went to YouTube so I could grab the link for that TED Talk. And this is the first recommendation. Chris Pratt Super Mario Remake Trailer 2. And the thumbnail is like this like hard image.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes hard. It's like a hyper realistic like Bowser sitting in a throne with Jack Black's head.
Fuck?
It's great. Gavin, you see this shit. You see this shit.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's great.
I have a YouTube channel I'd like to shout out.
Yeah,
the YouTube channel is called ExplosionsAndFire. He also has another channel called ExplosionsAndIre, IRE. I like his channel specifically because he's Australian and talks about chemistry in a very haphazard sort of way.
I have an Australian that talks about things in a haphazard way after that. I mean, I didn't have it written down, but it reminds me of it.
I just love him so much because he'll go off about like little chemistry niches and talk about how like he'll be like, yeah, yellow things, I don't like them just because they're terrible. Fuck them. Fuck yellow things. Fuck sulfur. And he'll just go off on it for like no good reason. Just for like some niche like chemistry rule that isn't like that has like a lot of exceptions. I don't know. I just love his content.
Yeah.
It's really good. He also, I think, in a couple of videos has actually been like, hey, I know what I do looks really easy, but don't do what I do. I'm a professional. He actually has a PhD in chemistry. So he's like, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes to make sure that everyone that I'm doing this with are safe.
Sorry, that was the start of the TED Talk.
You're good. You're good. I just really like his humor and his way of going about things. My other recommendation is
can I say the one that he reminds me of?
Sure.
Do you know the channel Dink Pods?
I don't.
It's pretty good. It's this Australian guy. He's pretty big now. He has like over 1 million subscribers. But he basically just talks about like old like MP3 players and stuff, and he like talks a lot about like iPods.
Is he like super Australian too?
He's
Shut
super
up,
Australian.
Natalie Portman. I don't care about your 2 times impact. I mean, I'm objectively, but
play like a few seconds.
Oh, this is the TED Talk. Homeopathy, quackery.
Yeah, I
fraud.
put the link in the show notes. Yeah, no, it's a great TED Talk. Link in description. I'm gonna play like a few seconds of his latest video just so you can kind of get it.
Why is he naked? Why is he fully naked?
We're dealing with
Why
an
is he
actual
ripping-
artifact
He's
here.
taking out his penis and stroking
Seriously
it.
old
with
MP3
lube.
plays. This is real old. This is 90s, mate.
So this video
it's
is
pretty nuts when you see
like
audible.
It's about like the first MP3 player on the market
for sure,
and he's just talking about how like
how shit it
it was.
Totally
it was
shit.
great at the time, but
It was
like now
revolutionary
it's just
at the time. Now
like it's fucking
shite.
nothing. It's so big,
No, it's
and it's
shit.
nothing.
That's why I love Australians, because they can be like, have you seen the Jim Jeffries bit about the Second Amendment?
Yeah.
He's just like,
I think that's his most famous bit.
Yeah, but he wasn't like it wasn't specifically about guns. It was like, my First Amendment right gives me the right to say that your Second Amendment sucks shit.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love the way Australians say
they
stuff.
just put things, and I love that they can say cunt.
Yeah, no, that's great.
The way they
I'm jealous of that.
If I get called a cunt by an Australian person, I feel honored.
Yeah. But I was watching this video about the first MP3 player last night with Haley and her sisters, and her sister was like, "Yeah, no, like this is a funny video. Like this would be boring as shit, frankly, if it was like anyone else saying it.
Yeah,
but yeah, Dank Pods is just entertaining. He's funny. So
he's also single, ladies.
Anyway, I have a second recommendation. I think this is the only other one that I'll do this week. It's a new comic series. Well, it's a few months old. I think the 3rd issue is out now. It'll probably be out by the time this episode is out. But it's called Namor Conquered Shores. I read the 1st issue. I still have yet to get the next couple issues. But it's pretty good so far. Nice. Basically, the premise of it is like it's the Marvel universe, but like.
Well, can I explain it? Because I know a little bit about it too.
Do you?
I do.
I don't think you do.
It takes place in the Marvel universe where I consistently fuck Alex's mom.
Which is an Elseworld story, because in the canon timeline, actually,
there's another universe that also calls itself the canon timeline. It's a long story.
But mine is
just
Earth
like
616.
Just like the story I have with Alex's mom.
Gavin's story actually takes place in the Ultimate Universe.
His mom. And currently, she's actually sitting on my dick right now.
I think you might be thinking of a DC story, quite frankly.
Yeah,
because it is so out of the canon timeline.
Dank cock, if you mean to. That's what you mean by DC.
No. You don't want your cock to be dank.
That's really fun. No, I just think like, oh, that's dank, bro. Like dank memes, right? Like, oh,
no, dank like a basement.
What does dank mean? Well, like, because it's taken
like smelly,
on a new definition.
Like smelly and gross.
No,
Jesus, dude.
Fine, dank. Google.
It's like dark and wet and gross and slimy.
This is the definition. Disagreeable, musty, and typically cold.
Yeah, I don't think you want. I will give you that. I'll give you that.
Give me that?
Yeah, you have a dank cock. Yeah, if that's what you really want. Yeah.
If I start a goddamn YouTube channel, I'm calling it Dank Cock. But
go for it.
Cox. COX.
Go for it, bud. Anyway, Namor Conquered Shores. It's the Marvel universe, but the figure that I heard is like 100 years in the future, but it's vaguely in the future after like a war with the Kree and like climate change melts all of the ice caps.
Yeah,
and basically like the ocean is
fuck Alex's mom and the ocean gets so heated.
Not true.
It's
not canon.
It's
not canon.
Vigorous lovemaking, so it melts the ice caps.
There's like so little land left, and like
yeah,
people were just wiped out by climate disasters and the war and everything.
The only landmass that's left is Alex's mom's fat.
Sure.
I'm joking, Miss Myers. You're a very nice lady.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that those things are mutually exclusive.
Yeah. Sure. Anyway, so yeah, it's about. Partly it's about like humanity trying to like survive.
Fuck Alex's mom, yeah.
There's like settlements.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
There's like camps on land with like the few people that are left. There's some like underwater like bubbles of like human settlements. It's an interesting premise. It's about also Namor like not being king, but also not being good at like what he is now, which is just kind of a not a diplomat, but like someone advocating for humanity in a world ruled by the Atlanteans.
Pause for a second. I figured out the worst term to call female ejaculate.
Oh, okay.
Vagina juice.
I don't like that.
Continue.
Okay. No, that's basically it.
I totally stole the thunder.
We'll close it with that.
Okay. I have one other thing to recommend. Snowboarding or skiing, any really winter sport is respectable in my eyes. Yeah, it's the snow out there. You can either sit in it in disgrace or slide upon it like I slide on top of Alex's mom.
I was going to push the yeah button, but...
Not anymore.
No. I'm going to push a different button.
I don't know, winter sports, man. They're awesome to do that. Let's see what Alex will choose to disgrace me.
Shut the hell up, bitch. Go kill yourself. Go sit in the middle of the road and let a car run over you.
Where's the other one? Yeah, I got one better. This is what Gavin says. This is what Gavin told. This is actually a recording of Gavin talking before the show.
I dreamed I saw my maternal grandmother sitting by the bank of a swimming pool.
He's just doing a really good Jordan Peterson impression.
Her genital region was exposed dimly. It had the appearance of a thick mat of hair. She was stroking herself absent-mindedly. She walked over to me with a handful of pubic hair compacted into something resembling a large artist's paintbrush. She pushed this at my face. I raised my arm several times to deflect her hand. Finally, unwilling to hurt her or interfere with her any further, I let her have her way. She stroked my face with the brush gently and said, like a child, "Isn't it soft?" I looked at her rude face.
The like a child line makes it so much worse.
Soft.
I would like to mention that I told you all that in confidence. I didn't know you were recording.
You're a lying dog faced pony soldier.
That's what I have to say.
Is that
you're a lion dog face pony
you're
soldier?
Lucky you have a fucking soundboard, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, that thing has been carrying the show.
It has been. Well, that's all I've got.
All right. Well, I think that's the show then.
I think that's the show.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of What Do We Say. If you liked it, then like it. If you subscribe,
if you don't
subscribe.
Like it, then don't subscribe.
Want to comment?
Tell us what you think.
Better be nice, or else I'm gonna cry.
I've seen it. It's actually.
If you like something that we say,
good coffee creamer.
Tell us. If you dislike something that we say, keep it to yourself.
Please, I need to.
Please, no one needs to know.
Come on, how much do you want?
Follow me on social media. Don't follow Gavin.
Don't follow me.
It's unwise.
I see you.
Quite frankly, it's unwise.
I see you.
But follow me on Instagram, on social media.
Not on Twitter.
YouTube.
Though. That shit's fucking it.
Yeah, I'm YouTube. Or Twitter. I hardly ever tweet.
Yeah.
Follow me on Tumblr though.
Yeah.
Because I'm active there.
I can't wait till Tumblr comes back.
But I'm most active on Instagram.
Yes.
I post pictures of a cat that my mom has.
And his massive cock.
No. That's not my OnlyFans. Gotta subscribe on Patreon
hey guys,
for that.
Go to Alex's OnlyFans.
$1 a month. Patreon, you get early access to episodes.
Right.
And any other extra stuff that we do, which so far is not much.
We don't do much extra other than this.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
This is probably.
Gavin, don't play with your glasses. That makes noise while I'm recording.
I need a fidget.
Yeah, no, fidget on your own time, buddy.
Hey,
share the show with a friend. Tweet clips your episodes.
Clip
channels in the description
with our show.
Like and subscribe and comment.
Why am I taking this to a second?
I don't know.
Just like our show, please.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's fuck on out of here.
Let's leave.